What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ben Knows Nothing. I have a very, very special guest back for his second appearance here on Ben Knows Nothing. Eddie Rivera of New Hairstyle Hair Studio in Meriden. Artist, painter. Is there anything that you don't do? Because, bro, I've been following you on Instagram. You've been pumping me up. You see the fire emojis, the 100% that I send you, the clapping hands,
the 100%,
the 100%. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have that effect on a lot of people, because I see a lot of people share your stuff. I've actually gotten sent something from you, somebody not knowing that I was like, I already saw this, bro. You know, You know when you do that dick thing when somebody sends you something, you're like, yo, I already saw this, and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So you have that effect. You've been doing an awful lot. You know, and last time you were on, you gave me, that painting. You made that painting for me, and it was like
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, it's
which
huge.
You put me onto.
Yeah.
Which was a blessing.
I'm glad. I'm glad that was something, that I could introduce you to. You introduced me to so much. I'm actually going to go see him in
New York. I'm
actually going to Boston, I think, in May, for a meet and greet and book signing.
Wow.
So I've already read, his book Beyond Order. And
that's on my list.
It's such a profound book. It really does change your life. It changed a lot of stuff in my relationship. I would say changed. I had a lot of good business sense of like how I wanted to treat people, and my service has always been good, and I imagine yours has been as well. But it's changed me a little bit more in my relationship and being a little bit more open. And like you got engaged, I got engaged and married, know, so I'm trying to, not get a divorce, not be divorced already.
Today's episode is brought to you by Graziella Coffee Company, the coffee company that reminds you, don't work too hard. Today, me and Ben are sipping on the Copan Honduras, which is a darker roast coffee, which is absolutely amazing. Bold and sweet with hints of butterscotch, molasses, and graham cracker. Graziella Coffee Company, the coffee company that reminds you, don't work too hard.
Don't work too hard.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. So that book, the second book, helped me a little bit more in a relationship sense. The first one definitely helped me. His first book put me on to just better behaviors. I was doing shit that I didn't like about myself. You're like, oh, I'm nailing it. And then you're like, you read the book and you're like, oh shit, I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing.
He just has a lot of ideal things.
Yeah.
For people to easily understand when he talks, it's very easy to understand what he's saying, and it just makes sense.
He says it so like almost like that he gives you the reason why after telling you what you did wrong that you have related to, or that you were doing right and you were relating to.
And he also talks about his wife and sometimes how she can't put up with him.
Yeah.
And he also shows you how normal he is. Like
how normal that is.
I have issues in my situation where it's like, I'm ranting off, and my wife is looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty much all of us.
We all go through it, but there's so much genius that comes out of Jordan Peterson.
Well, being so matter of fact with it too, like like I said, I like that. Like he gives you the problem, gives you the issue,
right,
or gives you the thing that you're doing right, and gives you the reason why, or perhaps why, you did it right or wrong. Or, hey, you could do it better by doing this. My favorite message to him, and like I said, we can, we move on from there, but my favorite message from him is that you are not okay the way you are. Like, you're not okay the way you are. You didn't nail it. You're not like, oh, every day, nailed it, great. Mm-hmm. That's such an arrogant way to think, and it's so detrimental to business owners or even just people who want to stay accomplished and motivated throughout the day. If every day I woke up and I was like, nailed it, I did great. You know what I mean? Like you just be like an asshole, and then you'd have this arrogance about you, and it wouldn't be confidence. It wouldn't be that. It'd be arrogance.
And it wouldn't be fun anymore.
There's that too.
It's like if you're nailing everything.
Yeah.
And you're being successful every single day. Like there's no excitement. It's like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to nail it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do good. So,
yeah, he definitely helps with improvement on whatever situation that you can be in. So, dude, I mean, what's new? I mean, I just see you out there killing it. You know, your gym stuff, your gym regimen is pretty solid. You know, your travel regimen is pretty solid. Your painting's pretty solid. You know, you constantly, you know, upgrading. Before the podcast, we were talking about him upgrading as far as the barbershop, the vibe, everything that you've been doing. So yeah, let's talk about that.
I just I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be, obviously there's no such thing as perfect, but I want to be balanced, equally balanced with everything, and I want to be close to perfect as far as in my own world what I think is perfect. I want to be healthy, and you know, I do go to the gym all the time. You know, I go on and off. I'm normal too. I go on and off with diets. I mean, I'm always at the gym. The gym is the place I go. I have to go to the gym. That's where I do all my working out and listening to podcasts or audiobooks. But you know, I don't want people thinking like this guy is perfect. Yeah, I always battle with my diets. Like,
yeah.
The past 2 months.
Yeah, you had a lot going. You had a lot going on.
I gained like 15, 20 pounds because of Thanksgiving and Christmas. But my goal is to overcome those 2 months because right, those 2 months are like the toughest times when it comes to diets.
What are you going to do better? I mean, it's all about having a plan, you know. So with that type of diet stuff, that stuff is great because for somebody like you, once again, it's, hey, I didn't nail it. I had some things, and now for you, this is another new challenge. So in your head, you're like, oh, I'm going to kill this too.
Right.
So I imagine for you being as hungry as you are, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that in that type of sense. I mean in the sense of like going to the gym and taking better care.
Right.
You're looking at it as a challenge. Like you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to, you know, I got this.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the holiday season.
When I started my mission, you know, I got inspired from a motivational speech.
Yeah.
And then
which speech was it? Do you remember?
I think it was the first one I really listened to that really opened my eyes was Eric Thomas.
E.T., man. The guy kills it.
The
hip-hop preacher.
The 4 a.m., you know, the guru story. And then from there, branched off to Les Brown, Zig Ziglar.
Zig Ziglar's amazing.
You know, Earl Nightingale.
Amazing. See, it's weird that we have we literally listen to the same thing, and that's why doing this podcast, having somebody on, I did that because I wanted to attract that. And it's amazing that you do it. We do attract that, you know.
Sure.
And that first one that CT, that you know that he put on, or Eric Thomas put on. Sorry, put on. That was one of the first ones that I was turned on to, maybe like 5 years ago.
Yep.
That reignited.
I would say 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it reignited me too. It was it's such a profound talk. He must have nailed he must have said that speech like 1,000 times in order to make it sound the way that he did.
He killed it, and like I said, and when you're on YouTube and you're looking at a motivational speaker, they pop up. Now they start popping up, and now I'm like, who's
this?
Who's Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Who's Zig Ziglar? Who's
they're the OGs.
Right.
They're the OGs.
OGs.
Yeah.
Les Brown.
He has probably, I would say Les Brown has probably the best speeches. I could see why somebody would have a problem with those because he does also put religion in there. And to some people, they don't want that.
Right.
That's the only reason why I would say that.
You got to look at when someone talks about
I know
God.
Yeah.
Look at it as what you look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
If you think God is the universe, then he's talking about the universe.
If it's spiritual, it's spiritual.
Whatever, yeah.
If it's Allah, it's Allah. If this is that, yeah.
I'm not religious at all, zero, but I appreciate, you know, a lot from a lot of different religions. You know,
structure.
I appreciate Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he was a man. He did come in. He did come to this earth.
Yeah.
I respect him as, you know.
Yeah, of course, the profound impact he's had on us.
On culture,
yeah.
Completely. But, you know, I don't know where I was going with the religious, like TD Jakes.
Yeah.
Like when TD Jakes speaks, I'll listen to him, and it has like some inspirational, powerful message. Even though he's a Christian, and I don't consider myself a Christian, but
you're still inspired.
I'm inspired, and I love who he is, and I love what he stands for. And you know, and like I said, there's different. You could take bits and pieces.
You really can. You really can. And I mean, and having that, it doesn't matter what it did to you either. Like the whole point of, or it doesn't matter who's listening, I should say, it's how it impacted you, which is the most thing that I got, or at least you and you get.
You mean it doesn't matter who's speaking?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as it hits.
Exactly.
As long as it hits,
Right.
who cares?
Right.
So you got super inspired, and then now, like I said, you put on 20 pounds, but that's not, dude.
15.
You're 15, 20, dude, but you're a monster though.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll be fine.
Right.
You like that's power. It's power now.
Power,
Strength.
yeah.
Exactly.
Gotta burn it. But we're on it.
And then you're on it, and then you've been traveling a lot too.
I'm in my 30s. I'll be 37 in 9 days. January 12th, I'll be 37.
Yeah.
And the past couple years, I just wanted to travel. And someone told me, hey, before you go outside of America, make sure you travel and check out the United States, because we have beautiful places here.
It's amazing places.
Colorado, Vegas, California, Miami, all these beautiful places that people forget that we have home. So I've been focusing on checking off things in the United States, and then the next couple of years, I'm gonna start traveling to Italy,
Getting outside.
Spain, getting outside, Africa. I have a lot of.
What's the place that you want to check out the most? That's on your list that you're like, that's a place. That's the place that I've been looking forward to.
It would have to be either. I think Italy's one of them.
Italy, yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of origin with my ancestors.
Yeah.
And Spain, Italy and Spain.
Yeah, they're very close. Yeah, very
I feel
close.
like those are there's a lot of originality to my ancestors, and where I come from is from Italy and Spain. So
and you'll be able to relate.
I'll just be able to,
Because Miami, you look like you're having a lot of fun in Miami, bro.
Miami is artistic. And,
Yeah.
And when I go to Miami, I consider that place like my second home at this point, and eventually I'm gonna probably buy a condo and do a lot of business down there, and maybe open up a barbershop or a gallery or something. But Miami is really inspiring to me because they have Art Basel once a year, which I went this past year.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I love Miami.
There was so many pictures you had of amazing just artists, their work. You're standing by, and I'd be like, now, did you paint something down there?
I didn't pay anything down
You
there.
wanted to, though, I bet.
Yeah, for sure.
You're
I
like-
mean, and I could have, but I was focusing on actually shooting a music video for the music I've been
I seen that too.
producing,
I seen that too.
which is hip hop.
Yeah, and that's something originally that you were very, very into.
Yeah.
And then it was something, like I said, you kind of have focused more on that. Was it always something that's been with you?
Well, I always did music ever since a kid, and I always wanted to make it big in music. When I got out of jail when I was 21, I started chasing music and writing music and recording and getting on the radio and doing shows. And eventually, the music business could really, really destroy a creative person when you're handling all the business. I never found someone that believed in me enough to be like, hey, I'll handle all your business.
You focus on the creativity.
You focus on the creativity. So I was handling my business, burning and building relationships. And
it's a good way of putting it, burning and building.
Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand the business. So I'm over here getting emotional, arguing with this guy because he didn't do what I think he should have done for the money I paid him, or it was just a bunch of bullshit. So I got really depressed, and I said, forget the music business.
I'm out. Yeah.
And then I started reinventing myself, and I started thinking about what other talents do you have, and that's where the barbering came in, and the art came in.
Creativity. You're just creative in general. You know what I mean? Like just as an individual, I think you have such a huge creative streak, and I've seen that. From your paintings, and this, you sold a painting to I believe it was Fat Joe.
Yep.
Which was, I mean, amazing. It was beautiful. It was a big pun. It was a big pun.
It was a big pun.
Yeah. And you've had some really amazing paintings, and afterwards I would like to talk with you about another one that we need to have made that I have been thinking about. Fuck it, I'll say it now. I really want a Johnny Cash one made.
For sure. You've been talking about it.
I've been talking about it with you before, and I originally was going to give it to my cousin, but I don't think he's going to get it. I think it's going to have to stay with me.
You can get him a copy.
Yeah, I'll get him a copy of it, and we could do that. But I'm thinking of doing that, just the iconic, just middle finger, which will be, massive. I really, 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 really want it, and it was something you got me hooked on.
Johnny Cash is badass. Like,
yeah,
we all have when I look at you, you know, Jordan Peterson,
Yeah.
Peterson, and Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
We all have that.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I'm
God,
saying?
yeah,
Those are
especially
two
me.
different guys from way different sides of the spectrum.
I had that when I was meeting my family, and my brother had told his wife, he said, hey, you know, before I met you, he warned me. He said he has his crazy streak, and then he has his organized, you know, very disciplined, like he has this, but he has a crazy streak. So just know before you think he'll just
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It's more controlled, but it's more at this point, dude, I like to have fun. Mm-hmm. You know, when it comes to certain things, I work this hard for a reason, so I can cut loose and do the things that I enjoy and that I love. So I think that's basically what he was trying to do.
When you take a trip with purpose.
Exactly. I do that's the best way to put it.
When I go take my trips, I'm not going out getting drunk. I'm not party. I don't party. I consider probably going on a jet ski partying.
Yeah.
But you know, when I just go out there with a purpose to kind of heal myself and also have a good time and be adventurous.
Yeah.
To me, that's like, you know, that's
what
what
you want to say yes to life.
Right.
So you're going into those vacations with the purpose to saying yes to all those things, you know, because you work so freaking hard, you know? So, I mean, it's like, would you say that that's probably the best for you, that payback to yourself? Like, hey, when I go on trips, that's what I feel like it's paying me back. That's the purpose.
And it's inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's
well, that trip when you took with all those
refueling.
Oh man, that was huge. You know, I could see it with I could see your batteries recharging.
The Art Basel trip.
Yeah, I could see it, man. Every painting you stood next to, you looked a little different. It was just, I don't know how to describe it.
I actually met a guy from Spain. I forgot his name. I feel bad, but he got flown out. I met a few people, but this guy from Spain got flown out to do a mural there.
Yeah.
And then I met some guys from Italy, which is crazy because these are two places I want to visit.
Right then and there.
And I met two guys, one guy from Spain that got flown out to do some art. And then I met a couple guys from Italy that got flown out and do some art. And it's just inspiring. It's inspiring me. It's inspiring to me that how the art world has that powerful impact where it's like, I found this artist in Spain. I'm going to fly him out. He's going to do a beautiful mural in Miami, and people are going to fly from all over the world to come see this.
Yeah. And for you, it's a draw because it also feels it's like you were supposed to be there.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we believe, I don't know if I even believe in that. But for some odd reason, you were there and you meet those two people and you see that artwork, which I'll put up. I'll put that artwork up too. You know, because it was so beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then, well, I feel like I remember one time I heard that what you're looking for is looking for you.
What you put out.
You know, what you're out there looking for is looking for you. So eventually you're going to meet with everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You want to, you know, own a business and you're going to work hard to it. It's like a magnet. It's coming to you. You're attracting it to you.
I've always said that it says like, you don't ever need to push. It's pull. Like, things pull you towards it when you're starting to work towards it. It's very, very odd. I remember down, and this is kind of similar to what you're saying with that you met somebody, Italy, Spain, to now recharge your batteries. Also, light up your creativity, light up your imagination. So in that way, all the hard work feels like it's for something.
Right.
You know, give me something, please. You know, but it's like you're not begging for it. You're just going, I'm gonna go enjoy myself because I've been working so hard. And then you go out, and then boom, it's there. It's there. I had something very similar happen. I needed to be right on the money. I was broke, dead broke. I mean, I went negative, like it was like negative like $400 in my account, right? And I remember at the time I didn't own my own business yet, and I didn't do anything, but I was working so hard, man. You know, it's just like, so I just kind of like held back, you know, the tears type of thing. I've been broke many times, so it wasn't a big deal. But this time it was kind of like, dude, you're an adult now. You gotta, you know, you gotta do this shit. You know, you're an adult. I came in the office, and I remember it was like I had a check. It was like my bonus check. So I had my paycheck and that, and my bonus check was the exact amount I was negative. And then my paycheck would have made it up for the rest of it. Right. But it was so odd that my bonus check was the exact amount to the cent what I was negative. And I remember going, this is pulling me. I mean, it wasn't the money, it's not the motivator, but it was I needed, it was almost like a sign.
You know what it is? It's like that saying, God will give you just enough.
Yeah. It just on the cent, bro.
Seriously, but that happens with me too. Like certain times I'm like, damn, I can't break this. Like I go through weeks where I'm like, okay, I want to break 3 or 4 or 5 grand that I made a week. But I can't break that fucking.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna, but you got to keep going and going and going and going and going. You know what I mean? It's like,
and then it gives it to you, and then you actually do it,
right?
And then you're like, oh, this is what I had to, this is what I had to do this whole time,
right? Right.
And that's a huge motivator. And I think that people think that money isn't like a motive. I don't know how to say it. Like that people think that money is like bad now. I don't know, like where they're getting that from. I mean, I imagine they're probably getting it from whatever sort of political, religious, what their parents told them, but it's like, if you have a business owner that's making good money, it's usually good service, good everything, That's why I don't hate on, millionaires and even billionaires. Like, I'm not that guy. You're just jealous. A lot of people are just jealous. They're envious. They're dragging around spiteful,
and then
jealousy.
The ones listen, I don't believe in worshiping the devil, and the devil's gonna grant you all this money.
Yeah.
Like all these people say, like
when they worship him too. Yeah, that's true too.
It's like they're sacrifice. They probably sacrifice a human being to get 100 million, or the crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the what's that called? The
conspiracy theorist types.
The conspiracy, and then there's the people with the
what?
I forgot the damn word I'm looking for. Superstition.
Oh yes, they're superstitious.
And then there's the
about
witchcraft stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then it's none of that shit.
Yeah, it's just somebody.
It's literally simply hard work, believing in yourself, and moving forward, and not giving up and not caring. Like when you see someone be successful, they did not worship the devil or sell their soul or they're Illuminati or all this bullshit. It's just so much bullshit that it kind of like it justifies why people. I'm not rich because I'm a good person.
I'm not going to sell my soul.
Yeah, I'm not going to sell my soul. These people sold they worked their fucking asses off and became millionaires and billionaires and give back to countries and give back to kids. And, everyone shits on the $1 million, on the millionaires.
Yeah.
70% of them were self-made and they came from nothing.
Well, yeah, I found that out. I was just going to say it.
Right. It's like they were just like you.
Yeah, it was not passed down generational wealth. Like that's the biggest misconception. Right. So I agree. When they start with that type of talk, you just want to strangle them.
When you guys when you see Jeff Bezos in 1997, this guy was not partying.
Yeah.
You guys are out here hating on the millionaires while you're sitting at a bar drinking on a Friday night. And
he wasn't doing that.
They sacrificed 20, 30 years probably sometimes of their life.
Everything.
To build something to make the world a better place. And, whatever. Well,
it's also what they did was they aimed at one thing.
Right.
For 20 to 25 years. Eventually, that type of behavior will stick. And so you get people who don't understand that that's what they have to do. Sacrifice. So if you tell somebody they have to sacrifice, most people, Eddie, most people don't even want to sacrifice going a different way to work. One turn would throw their whole shit off. So the thing is, like, most people don't want to sacrifice anything. So the thing is those people know delayed gratification, constant, and they aim at one thing all their life.
So speaking of sacrifice, I remember my third kid on the way and me not knowing what I wanted to do with my life after the whole rap career.
Yeah.
Just went down the shithole.
Yeah.
I sat back. And,
well, you felt defeated.
Yeah, I felt defeated.
You felt defeated because
I felt like they played. People played me. I felt used. I felt.
How old were you again?
when I decided to like say
Yeah,
fuck.
wrap it up. Yeah.
28.
Okay. So it was just like, hey, you know, I felt used, and you know, you were
Used,
young and abused. Yeah.
Thrown around, and
Well, I mean, that's
the music business is terrible.
Can chew you up and spit you out. Right. Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah.
You know, at that point, I was like, okay, I got to do something realistic, and I was about to be an electrician, and then you know, obviously that wouldn't make me happy, so I eventually, you know, wanted to be a barber, and I sacrificed a whole year because we're talking about sacrificing.
Yeah,
I was working 12 hours at a job, and then I would sacrifice the rest of the day to go to school for a whole year.
It's huge.
And it was back and forth. Like, do you really want to do this for a whole year? While I was in school, I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to go to school. Like,
nobody wants to
nobody wants to do the hard part. They just want to get to the.
Give me the money part. Give me or give me whatever sort of satisfaction.
But if I never sacrificed that 1 year to dedicate, I wouldn't have a successful barbershop today.
Yeah.
And it's honestly one of my favorite accomplishments of my whole life so far. And it's incredible.
It should be. It's an incredible place.
Sacrificing, you know, partying, good times, all that stuff for a little bit could do for your success.
The nose to the grindstone type of story. We have a similar story with that. You know, I was doing the same thing. You know, with personal training, man. I was working 55, 60 hours a week, and I was going to school three nights a week for 4 hours. It was crazy, you know. So it was like I go to school, I get out, I was exhausted, you know, go to school, do that. And mine was a 16 month program. So I was doing it. And then it was also, you were hearing all this stuff about, you know, you hear this like shit about, you know, it's not going to be a big enough payoff for you. It's not going to be this.
Yep.
2 people that I went to school with still train to this day. Only 2, you know, out of the
strong survive
16. But exactly, and then I also found somebody else too that does it too. But it's just like with the barbershop, man. Like you had this delayed gratification. You're busting your ass. You got a 3rd kid coming on the way. You know what I mean? And you're going, you know, I can't go out and party, you know, and I know how, you know, that's going to be. But what I can do is I could actually hold myself accountable to my future. That's what you did. You held yourself accountable to your future. And once you started doing that, it builds a grit on you. It builds something in you, on you, whatever, that for me was always there, but never went away. And you start to recognize it if you don't do it. Like if you don't have that type of sacrifice. And we talked about that too,
right? Where
your success will eventually start to hurt you. Then you're like, because we talked about before the podcast before we started, you know, I started to mimic bad behavior because I was going, hey, I don't want to stay till, you know, 8 or 9, which I was, but it was like, you know, I was kind of complaining about it.
You weren't excited about it.
Wasn't excited about it. And then I started to realize, like, I started adopting behaviors that didn't get me through to this point. All my behaviors that I did, I actually enjoyed. It was like shared suffering. You know, it's like I remember getting up at 4:30 I did that for almost 10 years. You know what I mean? So now it's like I set these small things that I was not doing and kind of letting my success hurt me by not getting up early, not getting after it, not, you know, setting up these small, putting my clothes out to make sure that I could just put them on real quick, get going, breakfast, meal prepping, making sure you get 3 workouts no matter what in a week, like that type of stuff. And then once I started to set that stuff up again, I felt reinvigorated. I felt on top of the world again. And
because you're in control.
Because if you feel it, and you also get the benefits of the financial.
Right.
It's delayed gratification. But now that I'm here and I have that energy, and you have that energy, because I see what you do, you know, and I get sent a lot of your stuff, and like with you at the barbershop, and then you with like putting out, you know, a song, you know, are you working on that?
I'm working on an album right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing this for me, just to prove myself that you just do everything you love.
Yeah.
And I'm working on good music and I'm having fun with it. I'm just doing everything I love.
You're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying life. I feel like a kid when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm literally doing everything I did when I was a kid. Music, went to my room and painted, went to my room and wrote rhymes. I mean, I do what I do. And I go, I used to do karate. Now I go to the gym. Like,
It's huge, man.
my life is just great.
It's a manifestation of falling in love with what you did as a kid and then having it now generate revenue. Like,
Right.
really, let's be honest. Like,
Right.
that's what a lot of this is, or it has been for me too. I annoyingly get to do what I love every day. You get to actually do all of the things that you love to do.
From start to end.
Yeah,
which
in
is
the very
crazy,
beginning.
every day.
It doesn't make it easy, though. Like, it doesn't mean it's easier.
To
It
me,
means-
it means putting out more fires and being more responsible. And
Yeah.
like sometimes I get aggravated because a lot of money comes in and then it's money here, money there, going there, paying bills, your kids, your wife, your bills, this bill, that bill,
And you're like, where's
donations here or this. It's just like, but it gets a little stressful. But when you sit back and look at him, like, I'm so blessed to be able to do all that.
grateful?
And I'm good and my bills are paid. And even if I end up with a little bit of cash, as far as like my cash, I'm good.
Yeah.
I have that. You know what I mean? I could put it away. I could use it. I could do whatever I want, but everything is taken care of.
It's huge.
And there's a lot, going down to my mom, helping my mom out, or paying for someone behind me at Dunkin' Donut. You know what I mean? Or it's great. I mean, it's just,
it's great.
it's a lot, but it's great because you're in control and you are the boss. You are the storyteller. You are the creator. When you're working at some factory, which I did a lot, you're not in control. I don't care what you think. You're not in control. If you're there for 12 hours, they own you for 12 hours. They tell you what you can't do, how much you could take off, how much you could make. And I was just always against that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't want it. You didn't want that life.
Right. And some people are okay with that.
And I think it is because it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. I don't want to say this. It is for everybody, but it's not for everybody's personality type to want to create something or do something or live with purpose, even for that matter. Do you know how many miserable fucks that I deal with? I'll be honest with you. And because you have to. I started to stop sugarcoating stuff, and I started to realize once I stopped doing that, I really was speaking to a different audience, even with the podcast, so I'd get messages like, hey, you're right about that, or hey, this. When I stopped trying to please everybody, because there's some real miserable people, man, that'll suck the life energy right out of you. There's people that you'll interact with that all they do is bitch about, my husband, my wife, this job is killing me. Get away from it.
I don't even hang out with people like that.
I don't. That's what's so weird. So when I hear the language, I'm almost like, I just check out. I'm not even listening to you anymore. I will not sit there and listen. I got up. I'll get right up off the table, like out of the table. I'm done. I'm out of the chair. I can't even deal with you anymore because you have bitched about this so many times. And it's like you and I, and not to be sound self-congratulatory or whatever, but it's like, bro, we weren't meant for that. I'm not meant for that. I can't sit still. This is the most I've sat still,
And it's okay to be, to have that life. I'm like, I don't like to talk about, that life is horrible because you know what? There is actually some people that really enjoy their job and enjoy their.
That's fine.
Whatever they do, they're enjoying it. If it makes you happy,
that's it.
Fuck that. Do what makes you happy because there's monks out there that literally live off the land and meditate for 10 hours a day that are the happiest and most peaceful people in the world and don't need all the cars, the houses. They're happy in a little hut made out of hay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's true. But I think that's what people do though. My gripe is this. I'm not talking like that's good. I'm not even a real materialistic person. I actually enjoy less. I'm more of a minimalist, believe it or not. I did this because I thought it was fun. Like I literally was like, oh, that'll be fun. And I like talking to people, like talking to you, so it's like, I think that people think that even if you are trying, you own a business in this and they could not be more wrong, that it's about money. Sorry. It can't be just about.
It's about freedom.
It could be and can be about profits and margins and stuff like that. And that's obviously some of the larger, corporations. I think once they make it a certain thing, maybe. But in the beginning, it's always passion. It's always a purpose. It's always something they needed or something somebody needed.
And believe it or not, money is great. But when I did what I did and what I've done
With
is
it.
more. Yeah, it's more for respect because I was so disrespected growing up.
Same.
All the time, bullied, laughed at, it's like my whole life. I was like, damn, I suck at shit. You know what I mean? I suck at art. I suck at cutting hair. I suck at this.
And they would say it too.
So, right.
Who the fuck's laughing now?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
huge,
like, I'll come to school with a piece of art. I'm like, look what I did. Oh, that's all right. That's not all cool. I got another friend that could do better than that. Or someone could say, I could do better than that.
Yeah.
Or when I did a haircut, oh, you didn't really do a great job fading this. So I wanted to perfect everything that I do for respect. I mean, the money comes because it's just going to come because once you get respect, people are going to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you're great at cutting hair, people are going to pay you. And once you become valuable to the point where everyone wants to pay you, you can raise your prices now because now you're a high end demand. So a $20 haircut went to $50. And the people that are willing to pay $50, that's on that big crate of people that want haircuts from you are going to pay the $50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you're worth.
What's the saying with the price? You said it, and then I think Fat Joe said it.
Fat Joe said, yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's so true, dude.
And that's kind of like a way of life because if you keep improving, the price is going to continue to keep going up. Like, it's going to keep going up. And you got to hold yourself at a certain standard at some point where, like, I'm worth this much. And you got to and be proud of it and be confident. Like, I'm worth $100 an hour. I'm worth $100 an hour. I might, and potentially might be worth more.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not moving unless I'm making $100 an hour.
Yeah.
And this is me today. Tomorrow it could be 120 or 200. I'm talking about today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta be, and that's it. And if people don't want to pay you $100 an hour for whatever it is you do or more, whatever you suggest, then that's not your audience, and they don't understand you, and they don't know the benefit they're gonna get.
Then it's like you can move away from that.
Right, because you're someone that's learning every day. You can only imagine how powerful they are and how great it would be to have them on your team. I want to look for somebody that's learning every day. Like, are you learning every fucking day? If you're not learning, I don't even want you around me. You know what I mean?
Dude, why, you do this every time I see you. He does this every goddamn time I see him. He lights my mind on fire. He bounced. I didn't watch fucking TV for like 2 weeks because of your ass. Dude, I'm like sitting there. I got home. I'm listening to a book. I listen to a podcast. My wife's like, hey, we're gonna slap, put on this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But then by the fifth time she asked me, like, I'm like, nah, man, I'm good.
Like, it's okay.
She's like, what are you doing? Like, you don't want to watch, like, you don't want to watch TV? I'm like, nah, I can't watch TV right now. Like, dude, I finished 3 books though. So I finished 3 books in that time. Right. And you do this to me every time because you reinforce what I'm doing. And it makes me feel good because it makes me feel like I'm not crazy. I was a white trash, raggy, just dirty-faced, pimple-faced, scrappy and kid. And I was funny and I was silly and I would put things together, for people to make them laugh. But, it was either at my expense or the situational's expense. But I mean, I'm self-deprecating, but it's funny, but the podcast is literally making fun of my nose, which by the way, Eddie also did make the graphics for that too. So which I have given him a shout on that, but
I can't see the big nose though.
We got to blow it up a bit.
No, I'm talking about your nose.
Mine?
It seems like it worked out. Like your head like grew into the nose.
It's because I got more hair now. Yeah. I think
so that's what it is. You're growing because I did grow the hair out.
Yeah, I did like a Frank.
Takes the focus off your nose.
Yeah, Frank Grillo type hairstyle. I'll put Frank Grillo up. He's the man. Because I kept it short. I think it like made my nose shrink. But yeah, so it's like you light that, and I think that it's the same story. Because poor is poor. Like, when I tell you my family's dirt poor, I mean like dirt poor. Same. Where you were telling me where, your family's from, you got to visit and see, like just how poor they were.
Yeah, we were from the mountain spot. My grandfather, from my mom's side, actually held it together.
Yeah.
He had 12 kids.
It's a structure.
He had a small house, and then my uncle built more. Made the house bigger.
That's crazy.
And then they, we moved out here. It's always been a building. I've always seen building better progression.
Yeah.
Levels, it's always gotten better.
But it's gotten better because of also the attitudes too, though, towards everything. I imagine. So you have such an opportunity to live up to making it better, progression, and doing that. And like I said, that's why it's always such a pleasure, man. When we have you in here and to see you working on all your crafts and the things that you actually want to do. And I think when you're able to finally put a cash value, put a value, I shouldn't say a cash value, a value on yourself, and you finally could do that, it's so powerful. It's so powerful to be able to go, this is what I'm worth now. This is the price today. It's different than it was yesterday.
And it could change
It could
tomorrow.
change again. Yeah, it'll change again.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. I think, I would like to leave here saying, keep improving, keep learning, keep, discipline is big. With I've been disciplined enough to just change my life, and I know there's so much more to come because there's more discipline that I need to put in my life. Like I said, we're not perfect. You could be great at this thing, but still suck at that thing, and it's all about improving all those things. It's kind of like an equalizer.
Yeah. It's you're constantly going to be tweaking and improving. Yeah. And you had said a book for me to read before before we had the podcast. What was it? 48
Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power is a great book and it's not about being this self-centered, powerful person. It's more like power over yourself and power over everything that you're trying to understand and trying to project too.
Yeah, well, we definitely need that. Especially, not to do the New Year's resolution thing. I'm not really big on that. I did say I ought to have a dry, January type stuff.
I write things down every year.
Yeah, I did too.
I wrote a lot of things down.
Yeah.
Some suck and some are good.
Yeah.
But I look at January as the whole month on working on yourself. I don't think it's all right, I'm going to start this diet and, I'm going to go extreme. I would never tell anyone to go extreme with anything. Don't
start small.
Start small. Don't just all right, I'm done with carbs.
Yeah.
You're going to bug out. And then you're going to fail 10, 15 days down the line and be like, all right, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not doing this for the rest of the year.
The goal should be little by little. I told my fiance, yes, I want to eat healthier, everything to be healthier, but I still want, a couple slices of bread or, obviously I want to keep the low carbs, but I'm going to do it gradually.
Eddie, before we go, before we take off, is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, I want to promote, I got an album coming out this year, coming up. I would say spring/early summer.
What kind of music is it?
It's going to be hip hop. Motivational.
That pump up stuff.
Yeah. Gym music.
Yeah.
Inspirational stuff. A little bit about my stories, about my life.
In the album? No
yes.
shit. There you go. All right.
It's gonna be pretty dope. I'm really excited about it. It's probably some of the best music I've written. So I'm excited about it.
I'll take it. Hell yeah.
A lot more art. I got a lot of ideas, a lot of cool ideas for my art.
You've been putting a lot of stuff out there too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff out there.
My prices went up.
Yeah, as they should. Remember the price? What's the saying?
Yep. Yesterday's pricing, today's price.
Yeah.
And promoting my special needs training course for barbers.
It's huge.
And I'm gonna try to start, the whole East Coast, and then do down south and go all around promoting.
And you go from spot to spot when you do that.
So yeah, that's the mission, to go to each school and try to implement the special needs course.
And that's just such a massive thing for people to be able to interact with somebody and have that so they can really
Have
cover
the
all areas.
knowledge,
Have the knowledge.
understand it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Normalize it. So
Yeah.
when kids go to the barbershop or parents go with the kids on the spectrum, or or any type of special need, that they feel comfortable and accepted, and that's one of my biggest goals.
It's huge.
Like I'm probably the most proud of.
That's huge.
I am the most proud of, actually.
Yeah.
And it's changing the world, and it's making it a better place and a more accepting place, and that's my biggest goal. So yeah, this year is going to be focused on that too.
That's huge. That's huge. A lot of good things going on for 2022, man.
Sure.
Good
Getting
thing.
married. My daughter's graduating. Going
Dude.
to the military.
What branch? What branch of
Army.
Army? There you go. See, I mean,
Yep. She has her own car.
they grow up quick.
She's a leader.
Quick. I mean, so you're getting married to, and you were saying you were getting married in New York before. We were talking about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Pricey. And we're finding that out too.
Yeah.
Weddings are crazy, dude. That's why I did my wedding, quick. I was like, yep, hot, done, married, But
I wanted to do a quick one, but
no, I don't, dude. I get it.
Sometimes you just gotta.
Beautiful thing.
It's gonna be more than just the wedding. So
Yeah. It's more than that. To
Right.
To us, it's like
my,
whatever.
my dad's coming, and my mom's gonna be there, and
It's huge.
Taking a picture with both of them is gonna mean a lot to me.
That's gonna be huge, man.
It's all good. Watching my daughter graduate successfully. It's
huge. You have so many good things going on, and dude, I just wish you the best,
Thank
man.
you.
In 2022.
Wish you the best.
Thanks, man. We talked earlier about that, dude.
Sure.
It's always good. You want to see other people do well. So remember that when you're trying to do this, you need to be a cheerleader too. You need to wish well on other people as well.
You do, because it's, first of all, it's not fun all alone at the top.
Yeah.
And second of all, you want to have friends that you could, invest in things together.
Yeah.
I might be able to call you and be like, "Hey, Ben, I need $2 million."
Yeah. I got this,
Yeah,
or
I
I
got
got
it.
this,
I got
or
it for you.
you can do that, and it's easier to bounce ideas off one another too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we are out of here, Eddie. Thank
Peace.
you as always. Thank you.